Okay, we're in Emmitsburg, Maryland at the Frederick County Fire Rescue Museum and National Fire Heritage Center. I mean, if you just want to give me like a brief history of the place, how it got started, where it's going to go in the future, that would be wonderful.
Well, I wish I knew where we're going to go in the future. Uh, Basically, what we've done is to create the museum to preserve the firefighting history of Frederick County. We have a very rich firefighting history in Frederick County, and also with the Heritage Center, we're preserving the written history of all things fire in the country. We realize that so much of the materials that people collect, when they stop collecting and when they reach the end of their life's journey, these materials are not valued by their families a lot of times, and they're simply discarded. And so we've provided a home where the history of firefighting in America can be collected. On the museum side, we have materials from each of the 22 fire companies and 4 ambulance companies in Frederick County, all volunteer, although some of them have some career help. And so we have equipment and photographs and uniforms and such. And on the Heritage Center side, we have books and videos and photographs, and slides, anything that goes back to show the history of firefighting, fire prevention, fire protection, all manner of things.
Okay, here Frank's going to demonstrate how one of these old fire boxes used to work. You used to have the box up on the town square or pretty much anywhere in town. It'd ring the bell in the firehouse, and if you look in the background, you can see a reel with a piece of paper tape going across. Well, if you actually listen, you'll count how many times the bell rings. That's how many times it puts a punch in the paper. That way they knew where the fire was. They ended up getting rid of them because people would often pull the fire alarm and run. Okay, this here is named Romeo. It's her actual pride and joy. I tried to talk Frank and let me ring one of the bells, but he pretty much told me absolutely not. I mean, these guys really take great care of this. I mean, to keep it polished. I mean, you can see your reflection in the thing. Okay guys, here's a real old fire truck. I really don't remember the history on it. Frank did tell me, but sometimes my memory's not always the greatest. It's well worth coming down here and doing the tour. I mean, Frank can tell you so much. He's very passionate on the museum. If you look in the background on the wall, you can see one of those like trampoline type things you see in the old time movies where they actually catch people. Here's the Wall of Honor. These kinds of things always make me very sad, but I appreciate what they gave. Here you see the old radio styles you used to have, the monitors, minitors. I remember seeing some of these in people's houses. I remember in school, some of the guys used to actually have these in their cars and wear them on their belts. Here's some old photographs of the old control rooms. Times sure have changed. Everything's getting smaller and smaller. Okay, we're at the smoke jumpers display. I can't imagine actually doing this, But they actually cover the entire history, how it got started, what they did in war times. You know, the pioneers of actually starting this profession, and it truly is a profession. You have to be a professional to do it. Now, here's a model of all the gear they had to wear. Can you imagine working in that, let alone working in the heat in that, let alone working beside a fire in that? A lot of companies who come and visit drop off or say donate some of their badges. It's amazing how many people come to see this place. I mean, this ain't just your town next door. This is places the whole way across the country. We're now getting to the archive area of the museum. There's a lot to see over here, and I do mean a lot. And Frank's, he is very passionate about the history and how everything's archived. Not only are they archiving books, they have old fire artwork in the background and helmets that were actually worn by firefighters. They also have fire sprinklers, fire water buckets that were used in the fire brigades. If you look down here, there's an old fire extinguisher. They also have old fire logbooks, fire toys, and more fire helmets. There's some old lanterns. The one looks like it should be on Romeo. An old hat, an old horn, another old fire bucket. Some old fire trucks like kids play with. This part of the museum is dedicated to the September 11th bombing. It's a sad part of history, but still a part of history that actually needs to be told. And yes, that is actually a part of the building. They have other parts of the cabinet dedicated to major disasters through fire history. Here's a case dedicated to the badges that would have been worn. Some logbooks that were taken through different historic events in fire history. There's one, as we go through the cabinet, that's dedicated to Shanksville. The one entry was a delayed entry saying about the attacks done on the Twin Towers. Here's a card made by the Emmitsburg Elementary 4th grade class, thanking them for teaching them about the fire history. Okay, here's the gift shop. They have coffee and books and hats you can buy. Please bear in mind, I am no expert on this museum. It's well worth your time to go in, pay them a visit. They're very passionate on the things they do and things they talk about. Frank's a real cool guy. Y'all come down here and pay him a visit. He's very knowledgeable and interested in teaching people, explaining to people the things that are going on, what things they have. I mean, it's donation. Drop a few dollars in the box. It's well worth your time. I'm right outside of Emmitsburg, Maryland. So if you get a chance, go ahead and check it out. As always, thank you for watching.